Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Recently I had a subscriber reached out to me and asked for me to make a video on how to grow something really easy so that his son can do it for a science project. So today we are going to do an experiment to explain exactly how this can be done really easily so that your son can do this for his project. So we're going to use the most simple things that we can find. That way you guys don't have to spend too much money on trying to do this project. So what we're gonna do is use soup containers. You can get these anywhere. So they're basically soup container. If you order soups or something like that, you will get one of this. So that is what we're gonna use. So this is practically free. So that would be the container we'll use to grow our lettuce. I chose lettuce because it is the easiest type of plants to grow. What we're gonna do is, because the container is clear, you can paint the container if you like. That is ideal because you want to block lights from getting through into the container, because once you add nutrients into this reservoir here, and lights can get into it, then algae will grow, and then it could potentially suffocate the lettuce plants or any plants that you have in there. So it's a good idea to cover it up, that way lights cannot get through. But because grown in this method, it is very fun to see how things work. You want to see how the roots grow and all that stuff. And when you do your presentation at school, it's probably a good idea to display or show off the roots of the plants. So I suggest you do something like this. So this is basically paper bags. You can get that at anywhere. You go to the grocery store, they'll have it. And you want to cut it out and tape it so that it would kind of cover the container. But if you have Reynolds wraps here, you can actually do the same exact thing. Just use the Reynolds wrap, and these are actually better because they can mend and fold, and it'll fit the container very easily. You can actually do both. That way lights cannot get through at all. So this is a good type of a paper or method to use to wrap these up. Okay, so I wanted to not waste too much time on making this, so you see that? I just use the foil and I just wrap it around the container and give it a little tape right here so it stays. So that is our container there. What we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole in here, because that hole is so that our net cup can fit in there. These net cups you can get on Amazon. These are 2-inch net cup, and you see that little cube in there? That is your rock wool cube, and it is a 1.5 inch, and it fits inside this thing perfectly. You can get this on Amazon. They're very cheap. So that is what the other things you will need as well. So rock wool cube and the net cup. Okay, so now we'll need to drill a hole into this container so that the net cup can go in. And for this, you can actually put a net cup here and draw around it and try to cut it out with scissors or anything like that. That would work too. But I have a drill, and it's much easier for me to use a drill. So if you have a drill, do that. And if you don't have a drill, then you can cut it out with scissors. So this is a 51 millimeter, and that would work perfectly for the net cup, the 2-inch net cup. All right, so the container has that little dot right there. That is your center. Okay, so once the drill attaches itself, you want to turn this backward, because the backward motion gives us a nice cut, and it will not destroy the lid. So you have to be very careful not to crack it. Okay, so you see that? So you gently make the hole there so that it doesn't break the lid. And now a net cup goes in like that. And now that is going to be a reservoir, a container to grow lettuce. And of course, as you can see, it is clear at the top. So once you put the net cup in, you can actually cover these area up with your foil as well. Okay, we have our container ready. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start the seedlings. So once the seedlings sprouted and they are old enough, probably between 2 to 3 weeks, then we're going to mix our nutrients and put them into our permanent reservoir so that it will grow. So today we are going to just start the seedlings. And to do that, all we're gonna do is get our net cup there, and then we have the rock wool in there, and the rock wool has been soaking in water. Just plain water out of your faucet is fine, and make sure that the rock wool absorb as much water as it can hold. And you see there's no excess water, and that should be good enough. And then we're going to put some seeds in there. You can do herbs if you like. Basil is great for this. Lettuce, any kind of lettuce works. We're going to do romaine because I love romaine lettuce. Okay, here are the romaine seeds, and these are just freshly picked out of my garden this season. So I just pulled it off of my plant, and so we're going to try to put the seeds into the rock wool. You want to put multiple seeds, that way you will get something to grow. And once they grow, you can just thin out the one you don't need and then keep the one we need. So let's go ahead and put our seeds in. And to do that, we're going to put some holes in here. Put about 4 or 5 seeds. And then we'll thin them out if we don't need them. Okay, so let me zoom closer so you can see the seeds. There they are. So now we're going to push them into those holes. And there you go. That is how you start your seeds. And what we're going to do is we're going to cover the seedlings up so that moisture cannot escape. That way we don't have to add water all the time. So we're going to get a Ziploc bag and we're going to cover this up. Okay, this is where I'm gonna put the seeds so that they will sprout. So it should take about somewhere between 5 to 7 days for them to sprout. So once they sprouted, I'm gonna come back and show you what to do next. Alright guys, it has been exactly 2 days and the plants have sprouted already. So let's open this up and take a look. So because my lettuce seeds are very fresh, I harvest them this summer. So that's why they grow so fast. So I have 2 little plants there already. When you purchase your lettuce seeds in the store, they may take a little bit longer. Just be patient. Do not be discouraged. Older seeds usually take a little bit longer to sprout. So after they sprouted, you want to remove the plastic covering, and you also want to keep the rock wool nice and moist so that the roots will not dry out. Because if they do dry out, then the plants would die. So they're not old enough yet to grow into the hydroponic solution. So we're just gonna maintain the moisture in the rock wool and let them grow for about 2 to 2.5 to 3 weeks. And once they sprout roots outside of the net cup here, and that is the time that is perfect for us to begin the hydroponic process. As you notice, I have this covering right here, and that's just the foil that I mentioned. It's very easy. You just cut a piece and put it across the top like this, remove this, and then you mold it in, and then you get something and poke a hole right there, and then you use your finger to push it through, and that's how you create that little opening. It's very, very easy to do, and you will get this nice little system for basically nothing. So it's very cheap to start. So there may be more that will sprout up, so we're gonna have to thin them out, and then we'll wait until they're ready, and then we'll go through the process of how to grow them in hydroponic. Alright guys, to mix the nutrients, what you're going to need is a gallon of water. That's usually how much I mix at a time. And I pre-fill the container with water right out of my faucet, so nothing special. Then you're gonna need your hydroponic nutrients, and I like to use this because it's the most simple nutrients to use. All you need is this, and then measure 5 milliliter per gallon, and that's it. So you don't need the multiple parts or anything like that. Then you need pH down to adjust the pH in the water. This is a 5 milliliter drop right here. So you can use this, or you can have a measure if you like. And you need this pH meter to read the pH in your water. So the first thing we're going to do is measure. So usually out of my tap, the water is around 7 point something pH, 7.6 or something like that. It's gonna keep climbing. So what you're gonna need to do is just add the nutrients in first. So what we're gonna do now is take 5 milliliter from this. We're gonna add it to this. So let me go ahead and shake it up real quick, and then we'll take the nutrients out. Okay, here's my nutrients. Shake it up nicely and take 5 milliliter out, which is about exactly one of this, and then drop it in there. And then we're going to close this up and shake it really well to disperse it all into the liquid. So now we're going to adjust the pH. So let's see what it is right now. So next you need to measure the pH of your nutrients, and then you're going to add pH down to adjust it to around 5.9 or something around there, because I know exactly how much my water is and how much to drop because I remember. So I'm just going to drop it and then measure. And once you add the pH down, shake it again to disperse it one more time. All right, so let's go ahead and see what our pH is. So it's around 5.84, which is perfect. So you want it around 5.9, 5.8, or 6 is fine. So see how I remember how many drops to put in here based on my water type. So it's a good idea to do the same for you. Because sometimes your pH meter may go out, so it's best to remember how many drops you put in there. That way you get the same consistent pH every time, even if your pH meter goes out. Okay, so that is it. That is how simple it is to make your nutrients. So let me summarize. First, you add water into a container, and then you add your nutrients. The nutrients may drop the pH. That's why you need to drop to put it first before you test the pH. So once you add the nutrients, shake it up, make sure it's all dispersed well, and then add your pH and add it slowly, because you don't want to over add and then you have to readjust. So just add it slowly and let it rest and sit, measure it, and once you have it to around 5.9, 5.8 or 6, around there, it's perfect. So it's ready to use. All right, guys, it is time to add our nutrients. And the reason I'm doing it so early is because I'm going to go out of town for about a week. So in the meantime, I cannot let the lettuce die. So I must do something. Usually I don't add nutrients until the lettuce is around 2 weeks or so, because then it'll put out more roots and it's easier. And it's safer for the plants that way. But because I'm going out of town for about a week, and I can't monitor the lettuce in the meantime, so what we're gonna do is add nutrients today. Now that we have the nutrients, what we're going to do is we're gonna take our little cover off easily like that. And there we are. So you can see the inside of the net cup is right there. So we're gonna fill the nutrients till it touches our net cup. So let's go ahead and fill it up real quick. So we can remove this and then fill. And then put this back. And it's still not touching yet, so we're gonna just pour it through the top. There you go, it touches it. And that is all we have to do. Now we need to put back the covers. And that's as easy as that. Okay, so we are going to leave the plants here for now, and then we'll check back in maybe a week or so. So let me show you what it looks like. There is my grow lights right there. This is by Hidden Harvest Company. That's their logo right there. And here is my plants. And let me show you the roots. You see there the roots? Actually just one root. So that's all it's gonna have for now. But in a few weeks, you're gonna see this thing explode. So we will be back soon. Alright guys, it has been 15 days now in total, including the time we took to start the seeds and everything. And the plants are doing great. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, there are 3 plants in there. So we need to remove one because they're going to fight for space. So today we are going to pull them out, and then I'm going to show you the roots and everything, because when you show hydroponic, people love looking at the roots of the plants. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so this is a really neat system for us to be able to see what we're doing here. You see that? So the roots are all hanging there in the solution, and it drank a little bit water, so not much, and the plants are growing nicely. So what are we going to do? We are going to gently take 2 of the lettuce plants out. We're gonna just pull it, and if you do it gently, you can actually plant this in another system. See that? So you can use this to plant somewhere else. So let's see if we can do this one as well. So you want one that is nice and sturdy and short. So anything that the plants that are tall, remove that one. I think I'm going to remove this one here. Okay. So that is 2 of our plants. And then we have this one left in there. We're going to put this back. That's the cool thing about this system. You can see exactly what's going on there. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with these yet. Maybe I'll find a home for them somewhere. Alright, I'm not sure about everyone else, but I'm always having a hard time throwing plants away. So we just pulled 2 plants out of there, and I didn't want to trash them. So I put them inside a rockwool cube. I just sliced the rockwool in half and just pushed them in. And so they're staying right there. And then I put them inside my Ziploc bag, and I filled the Ziploc bag with hydroponic solution. So it's gonna sit here like so, with the ends closed in to give them a little support. So they're just sitting there right next to the space where we removed them. So we'll see how well they will do. I just wanted to show you guys how easy it is to grow in hydroponic. You don't need any crazy systems or anything like that. You can just create a simple one like this, or you can just leave them just like that. Algae will grow, but you can easily clean them out and just put them in a new home. So we'll be back soon. Alright guys, it has been exactly 25 days now, and the plants are doing amazing. So the lettuce plant that is still in the container is doing way better than these. And that is because when we pull the plants out of there, we damaged some of the roots. So that kind of set it back a little bit. So when I placed it here, it has to regrow some of the roots. And so that's why it's a little bit slower than that one. But it is still doing very well. Look at this. Even in just a simple plastic bag with some nutrients here, it is still growing. So it'll drink up the nutrients, and then you just have to refill. I refill once already, and I may have to do it again today. And that one there is doing amazing. Look at how beautiful these are, or this is. I can feel that the container is a little lighter, so I'm going to refill a little bit today because I will be traveling for a bit. So I want the plant to be okay while I'm away. So let's go ahead and check out the roots, and then we're going to give it a little bit more nutrients. Okay, so let's take a look at the roots because everyone wants to see that. Look at that. You see, the water level dropped a little bit. So the plant is drinking nicely. So today we are going to give it some new nutrients. And when you give it nutrients, do not go all the way up here above your net cup because this is a non-circulation method. And if you go all the way back to the original line right here, it'll drown your plants because these roots there in the between the gap is your air roots. That is why you don't need any air pump with this method, because as the water line drops, these become air roots, and that area there is where the oxygen is, and it'll feed your plant through the roots. And so down here, that is where it's pulling up the nutrients it needs. So this is the food resource, and this is the air space. Okay, so do not fill all the way up, just fill it to maybe right there. Okay, and to refill, it is very easy. Just pull it up, give it a little bit. You see? And I didn't go past that line, and that is what you should do if you need to refill. And because this is a small container, refilling is going to be required. Or if you grow it in a larger container, like a gallon, then you will not need to refill because the plant will grow to its full size within 30 days or so, and you can harvest the plant, so there's no need to refill. So anyway, that is what it looks like right now. I think I mentioned 25 days, but that is because it's pretty cold in my garage. So it does grow a little bit slower when the temperature is really cold. But if you grow this within a temperature range of 65 to 70s, or a little bit higher is fine, to like 75 degrees, it will grow a little bit better. So we'll be back soon, and I will give you guys another update. Alright guys, it has been 29 days now, and the plant is looking really, really nice. So I'm going to end the video right here because there's really not much to show except the plant would just keep growing. But for the past 29 days, this is how much the plants have grown. Even the little one that I grew in the bag there, they're doing really well. And for being in a garage, and it gets pretty chilly sometimes, and it's usually around 50 something degrees, and the plants are just doing amazing. So you can do this really easily anywhere. Inside your house, they'll probably grow a little bit faster because it's warmer, but you can do this inside your garage, inside spaces that you're not using. So I hope this would help you out with your science project. I hope that I answered all your questions, and if you have anything else, you can write it below and I will be happy to help you. But let me show you what the plant looked like today. Look at that gorgeous lettuce plant, look very healthy. And the little one here inside the bag, and there's my light set up there. So let me put the camera down so I can show you the roots because most people want to see that. Okay, let's take a look at the roots. Look at that. Do you see how fast the plant is growing and how fast it's drinking? So we refilled it a few days ago, I think 4 days ago, and it's already down to the very bottom. So these type of containers, they're very small, so you're gonna have to refill a little bit more often than if you grow in a larger container. So again, as I mentioned, when you refill, make sure to not cover the entire root area. That way it has room to breathe. But that is it, guys. So I hope you have a successful science project, and Good luck and thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.